How you doing? My name is Jay. I am the owner of Bay Valley Synthetic Turf here in Northern California, servicing the Bay Area, Central Valley, Sacramento region, and the Gold Country region. This project right here, we are doing a full pet system turf installation. So this job was located in Benicia, California, near Vallejo. This owner here was dealing with a lot of dead grass. It looks pretty green here, but there's a lot of pits in it. The dog is running back and forth, tearing it up. He's got a Labradoodle. And so he's tearing this out just to put in our pet system for his dog. So with our pet system, that is going to include anywhere from 4 to 6 inches. Sometimes it varies within the same installation going towards the drainage. It gets a little bit deeper. So what we're doing here is removing all the grass, all the sod, and going down about 5 to 6 inches on this. We're going to be putting up some steel edging on the sides and get ready for our prep. After this, we're going to include our weed fabric, our base rock, 4 to 5 inches, our AirDrain tiles, which are extremely important for a pet system, then our smart turf, permeable turf, and our antimicrobial infill. All these elements together are what we call the pet system. Because they all work together. Without one or some of them, you are pretty much dooming yourself for your turf to smell like urine. So one of the biggest turnoffs for pet owners in turf is the fact that it's going to smell like urine, which is the case for most installs. Even I've been there in the past. Installing your turf incorrectly, using the wrong materials, will cause pet odors no matter what you do or what anybody says. So the depth is very important because you want to have enough drainage. What we do is after we take out all the soil and grass is that we grade our ground, which you see right here. This is post demolition. We grade it towards all the existing drains that are in the ground. So that way, once your water and urine go through the turf and the air drain and through the base, they hit the soil. They will absorb as much water as possible. Once it starts to back up, it's going to start moving towards your drains. So we leave all the drains underground. Then we cover it with the weed fabric, and then we cover it with our base rock. So after our aluminum edges go up on the side there, you can see on the left and right side, he wanted to leave us some border on each end. We already did the demo. So now we have the weed fabric, which goes down in the whole area. And now we're putting down the base rock layer. This is going to be anywhere from 4 to 5 inches thick. We're gonna grade it out nice and level, compact it, and then we're gonna fix any low spots and rough looking areas with something that we call blue fines. That is a stone dust material, all pure rock. We do not use recycled base rock. Recycled base rock is cheap and heavily contaminated with soil, and this is what 90% of all installers use because it's cheaper, it's readily available. Some think that it doesn't matter. It matters big time. We use class 2 virgin base rock. That is going to be nothing but pure crushed granite stone from a 3/4 inch rock down to a fine powder. We grade that out, we compact it. If you're using recycled base, it usually has soil contaminants, blacktop. It's usually just recycled junk, old concrete, bricks, pavers, grind it up into a powder, which is fine if you're doing, you're going to put it underneath your concrete or something of that nature. You don't want to use it with turf. It is going to stink no matter what. That is one of the main reasons why pet cause a lot of odors in turf is because of the wrong base material. Now, after it's all been compacted, we put this stuff down that you see right here called blue path fines, blue stone fines. It goes by different names. It's a finer material, still pure rock. We use that to grade the surface. It makes it nice and smooth and even. We're able to fix any little imperfections in the surface. And then we grade that out and compact it. And right here is where we install our AirDrain. AirDrain is an extremely important tool and factor within the pet system. This is going to make your turf sit 1 inch off of the base. When urine falls through and water falls through, it falls through that 1 inch gap. It allows the turf surface and the surface of the base to dry off like 10 times faster versus your turf just sitting directly on the base. When your turf sits directly on the base, That's when moisture gets stuck underneath and urine will sit there and take forever to dry, and then it starts to build up odor. So using this AirDrain material is a lifesaver and a must if you have pets. It is going to make a world of a difference. It costs a little extra, but with the right type of maintenance, you will never experience pet odors with turf. And on top of that, we have our star of the show, pretty much, our smart turf. There's many different models that we sell. We only carry smart turf, and the reason why is because they are 100% American made. All of the material is sourced in the United States, and it's all manufactured in the United States in the state of Georgia. It's then shipped to Southern California, and that's where we get it from, and we get it sent to us here in Northern California. They are the only turf with microban built into the blades, which is going to kill off bacteria, prevent mold, mildew, fungus, things of that nature from growing in your turf, from things that will cause bacteria like urine, spilled food, things like that. The grass is also made family friendly, so, if you're having a get together and somebody happens to barf on the turf, you don't got to worry about that odor lingering around even after you clean it up. Now, all of the models that we have are fully permeable. So liquid and urine are able to drain through every square inch of the turf, which is extremely important if you have pets. And just drainage in general. Most turf brands, and I've used many, have that solid black backing. Liquid cannot find its way to those little holes in time to drain. So whenever your dog goes to the bathroom on this turf, it's going to go right through the turf immediately, which is huge. Cleanup and keeping it odor-free is going to make a world of a difference when you have a permeable backing on your turf. Now, there's many brands out there that market certain models of turf that they carry, and they want to say that it's pet-friendly. There's no such thing as a pet-friendly turf if it's not built correctly. Now, even though this brand carries many models that are, for landscape, for looks, they're all built with microban. Almost all of them, at least the ones that we carry. About 95% of their models have microban in it. And about 98% of them have a permeable backing. We only carry the ones that have both of those factors. So no matter what you're looking for your turf, whether it's just for looks, if you just have kids, if you have kids and dogs, combination of everything, we got something for you. But it's all protected the same way, and it's meant to function. It's not meant just to throw some green carpet out on your dirt and, forget about it, right? Turf is very important. If it's done wrong, you're going to pay for it. Right here, you can see that I'm pointing to those windows. They got a glare in them. Glares from your windows will burn your turf. You can see these nails right here. They're in little circles. Now, we cut those out and replaced it because during the day it melted. So that is one thing you do have to be careful with turf, but they make window film. It's pretty inexpensive to get done, but we did patch that area in, and I'm glad that it showed up here. So it is a major concern for some people. This guy was not aware that he had that going on, and we did this project in one day from morning till early evening. So we were unaware that there was any window glares when I came to see the project. In the beginning, we didn't see any window glares. The backyard was pretty much shaded, but the window glares were a little bit harder to see on the natural grass. And usually it will kill the natural grass. So we went ahead and cut those out, glued a new piece there, came out totally clean. You couldn't even tell where it was. So the next thing going in with the turf is your infill sand. You want to use the right type of infill sand and the right amount. Every type of turf is going to require a different amount of infill sand. For us, we always do, if you're going with a really short pile height and a really light weight, you're going to get roughly about 1.5 pounds per square foot. You start going more than that, and the turf doesn't want to accept it anymore. You get a little bit taller, around 2 inches or so, we squeeze about 2 pounds per square foot. Usually the recommended amount is at least 1 pound per square foot. We like to do more than that if the turf can handle it. You're going with a thicker turf, 2.5 inches, 80 to 100 ounces. We recommend 3 pounds a square foot. Now we only use Camofill antimicrobial infill because again, this entire thing is a system. I don't like using silica sand. Silica sand is just a crushed quartz does nothing. It gets compacted over time. It gets hard, makes it hard to drain. Whereas the Camofill, it has a coating on it that's antimicrobial as well. And it prevents mold, mildew, fungus, just like the turf does. And it does not bind together. It does not get stuck. It does not get compacted. It stays loose at the bottom of your turf. You don't see it. But water and liquids are able to go right through it, just like the permeable backing. So all of these elements together are going to work all together, right? It starts at the surface, right? You got urine and you got water going through, and it's going to go right through your sand that you see here, the infill sand. It's going to go right through the turf. It's going to drop that 1 inch through the AirDrain, and it is going to be absorbed by your class 2 base rock. And what ends up happening is, again, your surface of your turf dries off faster, and so does your base rock because of that 1 inch gap that's in there. And that's the huge reason why odors will build up, and so you avoid that by doing this system. Now, on top of that, you do want to water your turf down from time to time, depending how big your space is, how many dogs you have, the size of your dogs. If they urinate all over the place, if they go in a specific spot, you want to kind of help push that urine down, and that kind of freshens it up. We also have a cleaner that we use, peroxide-based cleaner called OxyTurf. That stuff is magic. It will take away any scent, any odor, kill off any bacteria. It's great to keep maintained. So that little bit of maintenance is going to be required from you if you do have a pet. You are going to want to make sure that you do water it down from time to time. Large areas, small dogs, you probably don't have to do it much, maybe once a week. Small area, larger dogs, many dogs, you're going to want to do it maybe 2 to 3 times a week, especially in the summertime. Because if you just leave it alone, it will build up. Turf is not a maintenance-free option. It just is easier maintenance if you're on top of it. And this is our final product. The homeowner had a pole that he wanted to put there in the middle. We embedded a sleeve into the ground and compacted it, and there's the dog's toy. So we installed that for him there. You can see the turf looks nice and clean, freshly installed. I'm kind of just getting some last minute shots here before I have the homeowner come out, check it out, sign off on his, see if we get his approval on it, and more importantly, make sure that his dog approves of it. And you can see right here, they are both loving it so far. That dog was really happy when we were done and he got to go out there. He stared at us out the window all day long waiting to go outside. And you can see he doesn't really care about his ball as much as he cares about running around. So coming up right now is going to be a little hyper speed video of basically everything you just saw from the point of the base rock installation. Everything else already been done. The demo, weed fabric down, our edges are up, and we are starting to grade it out here and get it compacted. So I just wanted to go over with everybody a little bit about myself. My name is Jay. I am the owner of Bay Valley Synthetic Turf, and I've been doing this work for over 15 years along with pavers and concrete. And I got to be honest, the way that I install the turf now with all these better grade materials and installation methods, I didn't start out this way. I made the same mistakes others did, but several years ago I decided to uproot myself from all that. The garbage, plastic and wood edgings, we don't use that. They're going to rot and warp on you pretty quick. Your turf will last longer. Your base rock, the recycled base, is just pure garbage. It doesn't compact as well, doesn't drain as well, and with pets it will definitely grow mold and odors and other contaminants in there. And because it doesn't compact well even without pets, you're going to get a lumpy surface over time, and it's just basically the common way that people do turf is just doomed for failure. So I made a decision that we're going to do every single job the right way regardless of the size. We're going to use better materials, proper excavation, a real drainage plan, American-made turf, because a job done right doesn't come back to haunt you, and a job done wrong always does. I've seen so many failed installs. I've seen turf that holds odor because there's no drainage. I've seen bases that sink, shift, someone uses recycled materials, and all the rest of the garbage I just went over. And, you know, every single time that I see one of those jobs, it just reinforces the way that I do turf and makes me more confident knowing that we're doing the right thing. So what you just watched is our standard, not a premium package. It's not an upsell. Every single customer gets this, with the exception of AirDrain, which that's more for pet installs, because anything less than this is not worth putting our name on. I cover the entire Bay Area, the entire Sacramento region, the entire Central Valley, and all of Gold Country, which is like your El Dorado Hills, Arnold, down to LaGrange and Mariposa, that whole section of California. We service out there as well. And this is actually our first long form video, so be sure to follow us and, you know, give this video a like, share it with whoever needs to see it. And our information's right here. Call, text, visit our website, and we'll go out there and do this for you as well.